this presentation, and I'll send that over to you guys as well. So we're going to start off with an introduction to College Greenlight, all the way to taking a tour of our scholarship tools on College Greenlight, and getting you guys a little bit more acquainted and really just more comfortable of the flexibility of the tool and how you can actually incorporate it into your conversations with students, all the way to looking at additional resources. So we have great partners in this space who are doing wonderful and impactful things around scholarship. So I just wanted to bring light to some of those partners, websites, resources that would be a good fit for you. And then after that, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about Greenlight to College Marathon. So the Greenlight to College Marathon is a really great way to incentivize your students to get started in this process, because it can be a little bit overwhelming for them. So we'll talk a little bit more about details about that, and then have some updates and Q&A. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. So just a brief introduction to College Greenlight. So to all of those who are new, hello, welcome. Welcome to the College Greenlight family. We actually support over 1,200 organizations and schools across the nation who are really assisting students through our first-gen underrepresented students, our students who are maybe coming from low-income backgrounds or under-resourced communities, all the way to minority students. We are here to help welcome you into our space. If you are not familiar with College Greenlight, we are a completely free online college and scholarship resource that is here to help support your students to and through college. As we all know, as advocates, there is an informational gap that our students experience. So College Greenlight can be considered an informational hub. We are here to help inform our students and their families about the opportunities that really exist for them to really help empower them through this search and application process. And through that, we really do rely on the input and the insight and the involvement of our community-based organization and our high school counselors to really help guide us in developing comprehensive tools to help better support you guys and really help our students achieve better college outcomes. So if you all are new to College Greenlight, please let me know. Shout out, give me your name of your organization, and I actually would love to get you in front of my colleague, Alyssa, who is an amazing asset to our organization, and she will actually formally introduce you to College Greenlight and give you a little bit of a tour of the different resources that we have on the platform. So let's go ahead and transition over to the different resources. So to any of my counselors who are familiar with College Greenlight, I know that we kind of walk you guys through the tools on College Greenlight to help better support the students in the scholarship search. But again, I know that life is busy, and you guys probably need a little bit of refresher. So I really wanted to take some time out to walk you through the scholarship tools that the students are seeing, how we're matching them to different scholarships, whether they're local opportunities all the way to national opportunities. And I also wanted to take some time out to show you guys some of the counseling tools that you guys can use just to kind of see where the students are in that process to help recommend different opportunities for them to pursue as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and transition over to a couple of experiences on College Greenlight. So first we're going to take a look at the student experience. So as you guys know, the student experience is completely personalized. Our job is really here to help the students really know a little bit, find scholarship, college opportunities that are a good fit to who they are as an individual and who they are as a scholar. I will then transition over to showing you guys some of the counselor tools. So again, please take note of the tools that we have and see how you can actually incorporate it into your conversations with your students. All right, so the first thing is getting the students on logged in, right? So and creating their accounts actually. So on College Greenlight, students will be able to click. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up a really helpful resource to help walk us through what students will experience as they're setting up their account if they have not created their account already. So the students will first go to collegegreenlight.com. They will click Create Account. They will provide us with their email address and their password. And then we're going to actually ask them a little bit more information about who they are. So we'll just do a brief intake that takes about 3 minutes for students to complete. And it's just your basic standard questions that will serve as a preliminary profile to help us better connect the students to college and scholarship opportunities based off of their interests, based off of their location, based off of their GPA, based off of just really who they are as an individual. So once the students actually connect and provide their contact information, this is the most important page that the students are going to see, and that is the Your Academic page. Now, why is this page important? Well, this page is important because this is where the students are going to not only connect to your high school, but most importantly, this is where the students are going to connect to your counselor account. So I'm assuming that most of us have counselor accounts. Yes. But how many of your students are actually connecting to your account? Good question, right? Well, if that is the case, I am going to show you how the students can connect to your account as they are creating their account, and then if they have an existing account and they forgot to connect, I will show you that as well. But to my students who are just creating their account, they're going to see this question of, are you a part of a college readiness program? We're going to have the student go ahead and click yes. And then this is where the students are going to actually find your organization name. Now, if you do not see your organization name or your charter school name, please contact us at info@collegegreenlight.com. I will send you over my contact information. We want to get you guys all connected. But once your organization or charter school account is established, then the students will be able to find your name and get connected. So when the students are connected, you all as counselors, and I'm going to show you quickly, you are going to actually be able to see what types of opportunities students are matching to, and then providing them with a little bit more assistance, helping them navigate the different opportunities that they can pursue. But if this is an existing account, I'm going to actually show you really quickly what that looks like. It's a very simple process. The students are going to actually log into their College Greenlight account. And in the upper right-hand corner, the students are going to actually click Profile. So this profile is an important and critical component to the College Greenlight experience. This is where we learn a little bit more about the student. So as I had mentioned before, College Greenlight is we want to be a personalized experience for our students. We already know that the scholarship search and application process is very daunting and overwhelming. So we want to actually help the students refine their opportunities by asking a little bit more about who they are. Are they first in their family to attend college? Is financial aid critically important to them? What types of extracurricular activities are you involved in? And we actually use all that information to connect them to different scholarships. So the first thing that I will tell you guys to do is have the students complete their profile. And most importantly, if the students can complete the profile in its entirety, that is going to help us do a better job of pairing the different scholarships to students, okay? So that is the kicker there. Like, if the students do not provide us with the necessary information regarding activities, or if they're, let's say, interested in pre-med career track, we will never know what types of opportunities will be a good fit for them. So make sure that they do that. And then second, make sure the students actually connect to you. So again, this is a very simple process. The students are going to type or click edit in the high school academic information page. And the student's going to scroll down the page. They're going to be able to find your organization name. All right, and then they're going to be able to actually find your counselor name if you have your counselor account. So once that is established, you will be able to connect to your students, and you will be able to access all the different opportunities that they have been matched to. And if, let's say, our students are connected to many more community-based organizations, it is completely okay. Students have the luxury of connecting to more than just one organization on College Greenlight. And they can connect to more than just one counselor on College Greenlight. So make sure that your students are making that connection. And I'm going to actually talk to you guys a little bit more about a special campaign where students can win money if they connect to you. But most importantly, I want to actually transition over to the scholarships tool center. All right, so on College Greenlight, as you guys are aware, we are here to help students know about all the different opportunities that exist explicitly for them. So we connect them to college and scholarship opportunities. Using their profile, we'll be able to actually help them identify not only national scholarships, but also local scholarships. We are one of the few online resources that can match students all the way down to their zip code of their high school. And when we go about matching our students to scholarships, we're not only just providing them with a list of scholarships like many other online platforms. What College Greenlight tries to do is really help the students prioritize and develop a strategy on how to best navigate that scholarship search process. So we are one of the very few, if not only, tools that actually has tools to help students identify the effort that will require for them to complete. So from very quick all the way to grueling. And grueling would be considered your Gates Scholarship or your Coca-Cola scholarships. These are going to be your scholarships that may require additional information. It may require interview rounds, also additional essays. Very quick will be a scholarship for a 250-word essay. So little work, but essentially this is just to help the students gauge how much time and energy is it going to take for me to complete. All the way to competition. So who are you competing with? So this is also going to allow the students to see the applicant pool. It's going to actually be able to have the students identify national scholarships and local scholarships. So for example, if students are matched to a heavy competition scholarship, this may be an opportunity that many students are applying to. The visibility of the scholarship is very prominent, and if the students are going to be applying for that opportunity, this may be more of a rigorous competitive opportunity, and they may be applying to, over 1,000 plus applicants, all the way to relatively little. This is going to highlight those local scholarships in our own backyards. These may be scholarships highlighted in the mayor's office or the alderman's office or your church or your school. So these are going to be those scholarships that many of our students don't know about, but these are those low-hanging fruit opportunities that our students are more successful in winning. So again, what I ask you guys to do is have the students actually sort by competition. So least competitive scholarships are great to start with. And it just allows the students to say, okay, well, I want to be a little bit more intentional as I navigate this search process. So I want to apply for scholarships that are a little bit more bang for my buck, right? Where I know my chances of winning are just slightly higher. And if the students are interested in learning more about the scholarship, they can click on the name of the scholarship. We're going to redirect the student to the scholarship details page. And in this details page, this is where the students are going to be able to find the eligibility requirements. And most importantly, it's also going to help the students understand what they're going to need to actually complete the application. So this is where we're going to add, this may require an interview round, or this may require a 250 word essay. So this is where the students are going to learn a little bit more about what they need to put into the application to get started. And if they are interested, okay, then they can get started and they can click on the scholarship application link. So underneath application information, the students can click on this link. We're going to redirect them to the online application or the PDF, and it's a one-stop shop. The students will be able to find all that information readily available here on College Greenlight. No Google searches. Everything is right here. Now, let's say our students are like, I really want to apply for that, JFK scholarship. Well, in the next steps section, the students can actually identify where they are in the application process. So might apply, will apply, have one. Two things are going to actually happen. Actually, three. The first thing is once the student updates us, we're going to actually save them in their personalized scholarship list, where they can find in their My Scholarship list here. Now, this is going to be a short list of all the scholarships that students have historically expressed interest in. And most importantly, the second thing will happen is once we know that the student is remotely interested in the scholarship, we will actually notify the students via email when that scholarship deadline is approaching, so the students are not missing out on those opportunities, right? And that is most important. And third, when the students actually identify what scholarships they're interested in, we will share that information with you as a counselor and which opportunities they are planning on pursuing. And I'll show you in just a second what that looks like in your counselor section. All right, so if I scroll a little bit further down, guys, if the students want to refine their search, they can go ahead and click More Matches now. Now, this is where the students are going to be able to connect to scholarships that go beyond just their GPA. We can connect students to scholarships based off of their gender, based off of their location, ethnic background, looking at disabilities, employment, qualifications, different organizations that they may be affiliated with. And all the students really need to do, they can actually just do the options that we have here. So if you have any students who are first-generation college students, have them type in first-generation college student. We're going to match them to those opportunities. All the way to our undocumented students. Now we have many of our counselors are working with those communities, and we definitely want to make sure that those students are connecting to those opportunities so they can identify that right here in the portal. All right. To any of my counselors who are working with students who are currently in college, College Greenlight is also an amazing resource to help students while they're in college and all throughout high school. So we will be matching students in their freshman year in high school, to and through high school, to and through college. If they're interested in master's or doctoral level opportunities, they can find it right here on College Greenlight. It really does grow with them as long as they're interested in pursuing higher education. All right, so I know that we're getting close to time, and I have a couple more resources, well, a lot of more resources to show you. But before I do that, let me actually show you what your counselor accounts will look like. If you don't have a counselor account, please just indicate it in the chat box or the questions box, and I will have one of our teammates, if it's not myself, follow up with you and provide you with more details in getting you started. And it really is a simple process to go about that as well. All right, so once you log into your counselor account, you all will be able to see all those students who are connected to your account. If you have any missing students, please, please, please have them connect to your account. I will be sending over a PowerPoint presentation that you can share with your students. I also have a $50 incentive for students to connect to you and walk away with $50 at the beginning of next year. So I will be more than happy to assist you. If you need any additional assistance, let me know. But most importantly, why is a counselor center important? This is why. So let's say you have a student who is really struggling with their scholarship database. You can actually, their scholarship matches. You can actually log in as a student, and you're going to be transported directly into the student's account. So you all will be able to go to the scholarship center of the student. You're going to be able to have complete editing privileges, so you can recommend scholarships. You can take off different scholarships off their list. If you're working with students remotely, this is a great asset, great tool to introduce, and I would be more than happy to help you guys with that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the PowerPoint presentation. But what I would like to let you guys know, this was a lot of information and really did go pretty quickly. But if you guys are interested in scheduling a more personalized team training, or just want to learn a little bit more about how College Greenlight can fit into your everyday work with students, please let me know in the chat box, and we'll follow up with you guys. In addition, we actually just created a scholarship guide that is specifically geared towards our students and our counselors that you guys can print out and actually use this as a way to help students find local and national scholarships. So this would be a really great addition to your workshops with your students. I can show you a preview of what it actually looks like. We have some really great just best practices, great images, but most importantly, we actually have a really fun worksheet that we just put together that is called our Scholarship Scavenger Hunt. It's a really great opportunity just to help the students kind of find scholarships as they are navigating the search and application process. So I will be sending that over to you guys as a follow-up as well. All right. So in addition, we are actually working on developing lesson plans and worksheets to help support, ready-made worksheets to help support our counseling community. And we are highlighting or trying to create 4 worksheets: Scholarship Scavenger Hunt, Scholarship Application Tracking Worksheet, how to find local scholarships in your backyard, and a scholarship timeline for juniors and seniors, just to make sure that they are actually working on developing their scholarship profile and making sure that they're positioning themselves accurately once they get to their senior year. Now, most importantly, I want to actually call out and ask if there are any counselors who would like to assist us in developing out or helping us refine these scholarships. We're in our first draft of scholarships, and we most importantly want to get your feedback. We don't want to create something and that not be impactful. So we want you to be a part of our scholarship supergroup. Basically, the supergroup is just really a team of counselors who would be interested in just incorporating one of these scholarship worksheets in their lesson plans and their conversations with students, and really just kind of gauging how are the students receiving these worksheets. Because the goal is, once we get your feedback, we can actually really develop these worksheets into a scholarship best practice guide that we will be releasing by next year, just to get the rest of the students cohort prepared and ready to kick butt in next year's scholarship season. But we want to do some of the groundwork this year. So please indicate if you're interested in being a part of the scholarship supergroup in the chat box. Type in supergroup. I want to be a part of it. Yeah. All right. So this leads me over to additional resources that you guys can, and websites that you can incorporate into your conversations with students, into your lesson plans. If any of my counselors who are working with any undocumented or DACA students, I did some extensive research and identified some really great players in the game who have developed great resources to help support undocumented or DACA students through the search and application process. Most importantly, the one that's up at the top is our scholarship list on College Greenlight. We actually every year update our undocumented scholarship list for students, and we vetted all of these scholarships and they're still active. We will definitely be adding more scholarships to the platform as time goes by. But these additional resources, Education for Fair Consideration, My Undocumented Life, and Scholarships A through Z are my personal favorites. They have different guidebooks, different handouts that you can easily print out and hand over to your students and really make them feel empowered as they're navigating this process. So take a look at these resources. They're my personal favorite. If any of you guys have any resources that you're a fan of that I do not have listed here, please write that into our chat box or our question box. And I would be more than happy to include that and share that with the rest of our community. Also, let's talk about any additional resources for essay writing. So we already know that, yes, our students can find scholarships when they come about a good scholarship, but that essay writing piece is absolutely crucial. I would actually want to shout out our partner, Scholarship Junkies. This is an amazing, amazing, and free resource where students can actually submit their essays for free feedback from experts on the scholarship and their college essay. So I know time is limited for everyone, and you guys have very large caseloads and you're not able to get to every student. Actually have your students upload their first drafts of their essays in using Scholarship Junkies, and they're going to be receiving feedback from the Scholarship Junkies team. These are former Gates Millennium, Posse, QuestBridge winners, so they are really versed in the scholarship application process, and this is like my fan favorite. So I really want you guys to share this tool with your students, their families, your families. It's a really great resource. All the way to, we have a couple of recorded webinars on College Greenlight, Story to College, Get Me to College. They have in the past put together some really great scholarship best practice webinars that are specifically geared to our students. So I encourage, and what I've seen that has worked successfully, that some of our counselors will actually have the students, assign the students to watch some of these webinars and actually do research, conduct research, and identify what things they want to actually incorporate into their scholarship search process. Now, this is so essential, and what I really found helpful was this is not only just going to help the students as they're in their senior year in high school, but this is going to actually, the different pieces of advice that they share will follow the students as they're in college and really making an impact or making a dent in their success. In addition to that, we have some really great search and application assistance, very similar to the essay writing webinars and recordings that we have, to some really great resources. I also want to just note some best practices I've identified. These are 4 best practices that really has helped guide me and other colleagues of mine as they are trying to, improve student success metrics as they're navigating the scholarship season. For example, first is setting expectations. Most of our counselors, we really want our students to navigate the process, but if we don't really help provide the students with a little bit more structure of how they should go about it and actually establishing different benchmarks and check-ins, our students are really not going to really maximize their search and application process. So I advise my counselors to assign students to apply to at least 2 scholarships a month, one scholarship that is high effort, one that is local scholarship. The second tip is limiting scholarship resources. This is the biggest mistake that I see most of my students making, is that they're connecting to like more than 5 scholarship resources. And that is just absolutely overwhelming information overload. So make sure when you hear the students are like, oh, I'm connected to this, or if we're providing, a long list of resources for our students, let's actually help them reduce the number of sites and find the perfect website that will be a good fit for them, that has up-to-date scholarship opportunities, deadlines, and they're appropriately matching students to those opportunities. Third is giving the students time and incentives. So turn some of the workshops or have some open hours to challenge the students into setting aside some time to work on those scholarship applications, make it a group activity, and then fourth, follow through and track those opportunities. Again, this is aligned with setting expectations during our one-on-one conversations with our students. Make sure that we're setting benchmarks. The College Greenlight tracking tools are a really great tool just to kind of see where the students are from a high level and if they need any additional assistance along the way. I would also just kind of like want to do a quick shameless plug for our marathon event that we're hosting Saturday, February 24th between 9 to 6 p.m. It's complete open hours on College Greenlight. We created this marathon because we know that students are actually having difficult time completing or just even starting their applications. So we actually put together a really fun online event where we encourage students to complete their college, FAFSA, and scholarship applications. So on the day of the marathon, students can visit College Greenlight by logging into their account. There's going to be like a submissions tool where the students can actually take pictures of the proof or confirmation email or web page that they completed their FAFSA, that they completed their scholarships, applications, and or college applications. Now, for every completed application, students will be entered in a raffle. Every hour we're going to have enter students in a raffle to win up to $100 and gift cards. And the more completed applications or supplemental materials that students can submit, the more chances that they can win. So it's like a raffle. So instead of a raffle ticket, their completed applications or proof of their completed applications will serve as a raffle. And they can take away with some money, right? This is really bringing home those incentives and instant gratification for our students. And one lucky student will walk away with an $1,000 scholarship. I will also note that if you are hosting any programming on Saturday the 24th, please organize a group activity. We're actually asking all of our counselors to host some open hours in their computer lab, or if they are close to a church or community center that has some laptops, bring your students in and have them work on their scholarship applications and have them actually participate in the raffles during the marathon. We have some really great counselors who actually hosted their own raffle events, and I will be sharing more information throughout throughout the winter leading up to the marathon to get you guys involved. But if you're interested, type in marathon. Woo. And we'll follow up with more details. And then on top of that, what I would like to note is that if we have any counselors who organize a group of 15 plus students to participate in the marathon, we will also be entering our counselors in their very own raffle, and you all will be able to walk away with a $50 gift card as well. And you will receive a report of all your students' submissions and who participated. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open for questions because that was a little bit heavy. As I mentioned, it was a lot of information, and I really hope you guys found this webinar useful and dynamic, and as I mentioned, information packed. So I'm just going to open up for any questions that you guys may have. Go ahead, I'm ready. So I have a question from one of my counselors. Is there a way to track if students complete scholarship applications and get awarded? So yes, that is an option, Erica, and I want you to take a look at the counselor tools that we have on College Greenlight. So if you have your counselor account, any of the students' information, if the students actually inform us that they have completed their applications, you all will be able to keep track of their status. Now, it is self-reported. That is the kicker right there. So the way to go about that is if you can actually take some time out and see, okay, is there any way that my students, I have one counselor, one organization that requires their students to use Greenlight as their scholarship search process, resource, and they advise their students to at least apply to 4 scholarships in their senior year. And they should track their application process, and then they also will be able to track their application status. Now, this is how the students can go about that in their scholarship center. We're going to give them a list of scholarships. In the next subsection, they are going to indicate might apply, will apply, have applied, won, did not win. Now, once that information is up to date, you all will receive 2 things. We send out counselor progress reports, aka CPRs, to our CPR emails to our counselors just to indicate student activity. So which students have applied to a scholarship in the past month and did they win? So that's a really great resource. If you're not receiving counselor progress report emails, please indicate in the question box because I really want to make sure that you guys are receiving that information. Second is in your counselor tools, you all will be able to report and export details. So you all will be able to report the student college scholarship list in Excel or PDF format. An Excel format is a really great tool because you guys will be able to see the name of the scholarship. Give me a second as I bring this. You all will be able to see the name of the scholarship, the dollar amount of the scholarship, and where the students are in the application status. Okay? The PDF view is also a really great tool because you guys will be able to actually print out different progress reports for students, and they can add that into their binders, or however they are organizing themselves throughout that process. All right. Okay, so I have a couple of counselors who are asking if they can have access to counselor accounts. So I will be following up with all of those who do not have a counselor account, or if you have any additional questions. So look out for an email from me soon. Okay. So Elizabeth had a little bit of confusion around the marathon. She wanted us to clarify, are counselors basically helping students apply to scholarships during that time period? That's a very good question, Elizabeth. Actually, so I will give you the short and the long answer. A short answer is yes. We want students to actually carve out some time to work on the scholarships applications. If they have not completed their applications, it is completely okay. If the students are working on their essays, first drafts, they can actually enter copies of their first drafts. If they are working on a resume or an activity log, they can enter that as a raffle entry as well. So the idea of the scholarship marathon is to have the students say, hey, treat the scholarship search application process like it's your job. Between 9 to 6 on this Saturday, you should be carving out time to actually find scholarships, work on scholarships, or continue, or just upload any scholarships that you've worked on in the past. So that actually leads to my second, to my long answer. So we already know our students have applied to scholarships, right? Or FAFSA or college applications in the past. They can actually submit all of their previously applied scholarship, college, or FAFSA applications. So historically, if our students have applied to a particular opportunity 2 years ago and they still have the confirmation email or screenshot of it, they can go ahead and enter that in the raffle. The idea is we just want to reward students for the effort that they're putting into it, right? Because our students are not getting, they're not getting emails back from the scholarship providers. They're not getting any reinforcement that what they're doing is right. So this is just our time to actually carve out, an opportunity to get the students to do the work, make it a group activity, bring their peers and their colleagues along the way, and hopefully you can also bring some of your staff to help support. Now, College Greenlight, we are going to be on staff online all throughout the entire marathon between 9 and 5. So students can actually communicate with us via via website, via Facebook and Twitter, our Twitter account. So just in case your organization or school cannot carve out that time, we are going to be there, right there, live and in person. And we're going to be sending the students over different scholarship lists that will help them find different opportunities as well. And students really love it. Like students, I really love the idea of bringing like a physical event that is for your students, because if they see one of their peers win a scholarship or win a raffle, then they're going to look at it like, oh my God, like someone who I know has won, And so this is just a really good boost to this collective effort and impact. I will say that many of my counselors who have hosted their own physical events in the past have actually gone outside of just our marathon event, and they've actually created their own marathon event. So outside of Greenlight, they were like, okay, I want to carve out some, after school time, or I'm going to carve out this, this workshop classroom time for my students to actually work on this we're going to applications, and I'm going to give them incentives. Like, we're going to have different raffles. I'm going to raffle off, like, a cool pin set, or I'm going to raffle off like a gift card. So many of my counselors have worked with their leadership team and have fundraised just to find a little bit of money just to kind of incentivize the students or find some good raffles for students. So I told you that was a long that was a long response, but I hope that that was helpful. When using the scholarship search engine, is there a way to filter scholarships according to students' interests? Great question. I actually, short answer, currently at this point, no, we don't have sophisticated features that will have the students filter that list outside of effort and competition. We basically give the students a long list of scholarships that we feel will be a good match to them based off of their interests, right? So they do have to navigate the interest, but I'm excited that you brought that question up because I am currently working on an amazing project that I think you all will love, where I'm putting together a blog post that is going to highlight specific topics and scholarships organized by different criteria. So this is going to allow the students to kind of see a sample list of scholarships that are available around this time, that may be scholarships for STEM students, scholarships for minority students, scholarships for creative projects, scholarships based off of state, scholarships for athletes. So please look out for that from me. And again, if you guys are interested, let me know because I don't want to do all the work and then you guys are like, I really don't think this is going to be impactful. But in the question box, if you're interested in more of a kind of high level scholarship list that is organized by interest or different criteria, let me know. I really would love that affirmation. What I will say is that what I really appreciate most about College Greenlight is, yes, our students can get those long lists of scholarships, and we do often provide students with a long list of scholarships that we feel would be a good fit for them. But I will say that these long lists of scholarships that we're carving out for students, it is a little bit intimidating because the students will have to actually click on every scholarship and learn a little bit more about that, and then they come to find like, oh, well, this scholarship is only for college students, or this scholarship is for students who have a 3.5 GPA or higher. The beauty of College Greenlight is we do all of that filtering up front. So if the student has a 2.5 GPO, we're not going to be sending them a scholarship where the minimum is a 3.0, right? So we really want to make sure that we're actually shaping and we're getting in front of scholarships that are going to be a better fit for our students. But I am a fan of the long list, but I really want to bring attention to Greenlight is a great short list option for students. All right. You guys are giving me some really good feedback. I really appreciate this. You guys give me so much joy. Okay, I have another question. I've noticed that some students fill out colleges they are interested in, but they do not apply for scholarships. How would you recommend we could share with students in order to encourage them to apply? So this is actually a good question. The first thing is carving out some time and dangling a carrot. So oftentimes, like, our students are oftentimes our students are so overwhelmed by their senior year that they're trying to juggle so much. And so the scholarship search process can be a little bit overwhelming. So the best piece of advice that I can give, in my honest opinion, and what I've seen as best practices from my counselors, is make it an easy process for them. Also set expectations for them and help guide them and establish benchmarks to help them carve out, okay, by this time you should have maybe 3 scholarships that you've applied to. By the end of March, you should have like 10 scholarships, right? Because it is a numbers game. All the way to carving out incentives, making it a fun activity for students, right? We all love competitions, right? We all love competitions. If we can make this a fun activity for the students, especially the students who may need a little bit more of a kick in the butt to get going, this is going to help them. College Greenlight, we're here to always think about creative ways to get the students involved. But most importantly, the part where it comes to like making this an easy process for students is key, and getting them in front of scholarships that are going to be a good fit. Now, narrowing those scholarship resources for them is essential because, again, it's information overload, right? So I would be more than happy to talk to you guys a little bit more about that. And thinking about different ways to get them involved. I will also include, we have our scholarship super group. So the scholarship super group, we're going to be talking a little bit more about, okay, so by the time that seniors get to senior year, they're overwhelmed, but how can we actually, they're overwhelmed, and some of them actually are underprepared, right? So how can we get students to actually take a look at getting started in the scholarship search process earlier? So one of the worksheets that we will be working on and actually developing is the timeline. So I'm actually thinking about expanding that timeline to what do you need to be doing by your sophomore year in order to be a good candidate by your senior year. So how many community organizations should you be involved in? Are you involved in any leadership opportunities? The reason why I came up with this idea was because a lot of times we have college timelines for students. And so, like, take your ACT or your SAT this time of the year. Make sure that you are taking any AP or honors courses this time of the year. But no one has a timeline for scholarships, right? No one has a timeline for scholarships. So this scholarship super group is going to be here to help make sure that we're developing really good resources to help inform ourselves as advocates, and more importantly, our students and their families to get the ball rolling early, as they can do a little bit more finagling and seeing how they can adjust their scholarship profile. All right, so we're getting to time around 2:58. I still have many more counselors who are still here with me. I just appreciate you guys so much. Don't leave me now, because I actually want to share with you guys. It's a really fun, cute activity that we're doing. It's like our holiday campaign that we're hosting right now. And you guys have probably seen some emails from us. But again, we're really trying to push more of our counselors to connect to your students. All of our students are connected to a charter school or a community-based organization. So I'm going to be sending some more information to make sure that your students are connecting to your account. And the first thing is I'm going to give you the details of how the students can get connected, and then you can tell your students if they connect to you, which only takes 2 minutes of their time, they can be entered in a drawing to win $50, and they will be maybe walking away with $50 by the beginning of the year. It's holiday season. Everybody wants some money. This is a really great push for students. And then my counselors, because you guys also love a good push too. If you connect to more than 30 students to your account by the end of this year, we also will be including you in a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. We're going to be awarding 2 counselors awarded by January 2nd. So again, guys, like we're here to help make this college scholarship search process fun. I'm going to send over the follow-up email with the recording and the slides and the additional goodie bag essentials. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys really make my day. You make my work, and you make College Greenlight who we are today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I apologize that it actually took a little bit longer than expected. I just blame it on passion, but thank you to all of those who were able to stick with me today, and enjoy your holiday season. All right, guys, take care.